I want to switch hats. You've been asked to speak to the leaders at the United Nations at their prayer breakfast, which is the opening session of the United Nations. Talk about what you told them, and then there's a parable at the end that you gave them that I want you to share with our audience.
By God's grace, recently they asked me for the third time there to John, and I went and spoke to them. It's quite an honor, you know. It's a nerve-wracking thing. You have about 15 to 18 minutes, and you have to be sensitive to all of the faith systems. I spoke to them on a search for absolutes. And at the end of that, you know, they were listening. And I'll tell you, when they line up at the end of it, the ambassadors will tell you things that are very, very personal. And one of them, I won't even name who, asked me if I would come into the office and pray with his whole staff. And one from an atheistic country said to me, I always wondered why I came here. I'll tell you what he finished his statement with. I ended with this, a parable. Parable of a very rich man who had a son. The son was a tender-hearted guy, walk around town, and he would talk to a beggar often on the streets. And the beggar grew to like him. And he would leave some money and so on. And one day he stopped coming, and the son walked over to the big mansion, saw the watchman outside, said, I don't see the young man anymore. He said, no, he suddenly passed away. And he said, you know, the beggar said, he used to talk to me about his father's art gallery, that his father was a lover of art. I want to do something. And so he went and sketched a portrait of the son and brought it back, gave it to the watchman, said, give it to the father. I loved his son. He was a good man. Years go by and he finds out the father has passed away and the whole art gallery is going to be auctioned out. He wondered if he could get in, got some nice clothes, managed to get in. And he wanted to see if that painting of the portrait of his was in the gallery. And sure enough, it was right there, centerpiece. And as he's watching, he's quite moved, you know. He knew the father loved his son too. And the auction begins. But the auctioneer went to that portrait first and said the will of the father was to auction this one the first. And everybody didn't want it, but nobody bid on it. The beggar said, I'll give what I have and I'll buy it, and he bought it. And then the auctioneer said, now we move to the rest. And the gavel was pounded by the auctioneer as everyone said, yeah, we want the real paintings out there. The auctioneer said, the man who passed away in his will put whoever bought the portrait of the son would inherit the whole art gallery. You know, Easterners love a parable, they love a story. There was a visible response from the UN ambassadors. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, when you get the Son, you get all of ultimate reality in Jesus Christ. And I brought the gospel in that way. They were lined up, John. And one of the ambassadors, as I said, from an atheistic country said, Mr. Zacharias, I don't like being here. I don't know why I came here. I've always wondered why. I found the answer today. I came here in order that I might find God. What an incredible story to end a story with. And to you who are listening, when you get Jesus Christ and you get the Son, you get the entire inheritance of your Heavenly Father. You can trust in Him.